The air was crisp and cold on the evening of December 16th, 1773, as a small group of men gathered in a dimly lit room in Boston. The flickering candles cast long shadows on the walls, mirroring the uncertainty that loomed over their colony. These men, known as the Sons of Liberty, were weary and frustrated, their hearts heavy with the burden of injustice imposed by a distant king. Samuel Adams, their leader, stood at the center of the room. His voice, though calm, carried the weight of resolve. We must act, not just for ourselves, but for every colonist who suffers under British tyranny. The Tea Act is the last straw. We cannot let the British East India Company monopolize our tea and dictate our lives. The men nodded in agreement, their faces a mix of determination and apprehension. Among them was John Hancock, a wealthy merchant whose own business had suffered under British policies. He clenched his fists, feeling a surge of anger. "They have pushed us too far, Sam. It's time we push back." As the night deepened, the men devised their plan. They would board the British ships docked at Griffin's Wharf and destroy the tea that symbolized their oppression. To avoid detection, they would disguise themselves as Mohawk Indians, a gesture that would confuse their oppressors and protect their identities. The night was eerily quiet as the Sons of Liberty made their way to the wharf, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. The moonlight reflected off the calm waters of the harbor, creating a serene backdrop to their impending act of rebellion. They moved swiftly and silently, their breaths visible in the cold night air. As they approached the ships, Dartmouth, Eleanor, and Beaver, their resolve hardened. They climbed aboard, their makeshift tomahawks in hand, and began their work. The sound of cracking wood and splashing tea echoed through the night, a symphony of defiance that reverberated across the harbor. With each chest of tea that tumbled into the icy water, the men felt a surge of empowerment. This was more than just a protest. It was a declaration of their refusal to be subjugated. Samuel Adams watched the scene unfold, his heart swelling with pride. He knew that this act would not go unpunished, but it was a necessary step toward liberty. "Let them know," he whispered to himself, "that we will not be slaves to their greed." The night drew to a close, and the men retreated into the shadows, leaving behind a harbor stained with the dark tea leaves of rebellion. The dawn would bring anger and retribution from the British, but for now, there was a sense of triumph. They had struck a blow for freedom, and the ripples of their actions would soon spread throughout the colonies. News of the Boston Tea Party quickly traveled, igniting a spark of solidarity among the colonists. In towns and villages, people spoke of the brave men who had dared to stand up to the might of the British Empire. They felt a growing sense of unity and purpose, a collective heartbeat that echoed with the promise of independence. As the British Parliament reacted with the coercive acts, aiming to tighten their grip on the colonies, the resolve of the American people only strengthened. The seeds of revolution had been sown, and there was no turning back. The Boston Tea Party became a symbol of resistance, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who would fight for their right to self-determination. Years later, as the colonies emerged victorious and the United States of America was born, the memory of that cold December night remained etched in the nation's history.